It's only the 8th. Relax. Don't be too hard on yourself.
You got 4. Okay, we're rolling and everything is good. Okay, the Municipal Planning Commission for January 8th, 2026 will now come to order. Mrs. Blankenhorn, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Starr.
Here.
Mr. Sawyers.
Here.
Mrs. Ellsworth.
Here.
Mr. Hawkins. Mr. Swallow.
Here.
Mr. Deal. Mr. West.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Commission members, in your packets were the minutes from the regular meeting from September the 11th, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
No, sir, I move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Okay. Just as before we get going, as a manner of regular business, I want to read the following here. During the let's see. Wrong one. This is the one. As a reminder to all here today, the purpose of the Municipal Planning Commission is to balance the public good with private property rights and interests. Also, the Commission carries out all other powers and duties conferred upon it by the City of Mount Vernon's zoning ordinance or other city ordinances and laws of the state of Ohio. This is a public meeting and there are rules of decorum we will follow. We are committed to the democratic process, individual rights of expression, robust debate, and tolerance for different viewpoints. Following general rules of civility are expected, including addressing others in a respectful manner, no insulting, personal attacks, intimidating, or offensive communications, no harassment, no willful destruction or damage of property, and no disruptive behavior. And as I say that, would everybody please silence your cell phones now? Any other electronic devices you may have, and please refrain from having private conversations throughout the meeting. If you do need to talk, come and go throughout the meeting, please do so in the least disruptive manner possible. If you are offering public comment today, you must first be sworn in by reading the statement at the lectern, and we are asking that you keep your comments to 4 minutes unless there are questions that the board or the commission members would have for you here. Again, the purpose of this commission is to oversee that the law is followed and planning concurs within which the spirit of those laws and regulations have been adopted by the City of Mount Vernon and the state of Ohio. Speaking of the law, this is a public meeting today. This is not a public hearing. And I've been asked, will the commission allow public comment to be heard? And I have decided yes, we will allow public comment to be heard, but it's only on the scope of what we are ruling on today. In the first case, it is whether or not the development through Arista Villas meets or does not meet the R1 zoning code. We're not talking about anything else. That's all that these volunteers have committed to do today, and I'm not going to ask them to do any more. The other is on the Liberty Crossing. There are a few items that we will be ruling on today concerning the site plan. We are only taking comment as to whether or not it is with regard to that particular site plan. The development plan is approved, it's all done, that's happening, and so that's all we are limiting the comments to. So if you do have a statement, or if you do want to speak on that, we'll recognize you, you can come up, and again, like I said, we'll ask you to keep your comments to 4 minutes. Okay, any questions? Then Ms. Blankenhorn, will you please read the first item up for a discussion?
Arista Villas Mount Vernon LLC requests approval of a preliminary plat for a major subdivision of parcel 66-07961.000 consisting of 100 single-family lots. The parcel is zoned R1 single-family residential district. This is case number 2026 MPC 02.
Thank you. And who from Arista Villas, if you come on up, please, we'll have you read the comment there, and then the floor will be yours.
My name is Clint Hoorah. My address is 2344 York Road, Timonium, Maryland 21093. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God, for under the penalty of perjury.
Welcome.
Thank you. So, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity again to present to this council. I think we're all probably pretty aware of this project at this point. I'm hoping that the third time's the charm. So just gonna start with that. With that being said, I'm here today to present for Arista Villas project, which is now consisting of a 100-unit single-family home development on this infill lot. This property is currently zoned, as you mentioned, R1, and we are presenting today is under the rights of the zoning ordinance. The proposed plan should meet all setbacks, lot sizes, and other requirements under the R1 zoning. The homes to be built are to be sold and not to be rentals. Just figured to get that out front here so we can get that done. Our goal is to create an affordable entry-level housing development here in the city of Mount Vernon. Our target price of the proposed homes is going to try to be in the $350,000 range. We're proposing 3 to 4 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, and between 1,200 to 1,600 square foot houses. While the goal is to create affordable and entry level, we still want to make the neighborhood visually appealing to the new prospective homeowners as well as the surrounding communities. Our plans are offering attractive elevations and architectural features such as stone elevations, board and batten siding, and various color schemes to create the neighborhood to have a good overall look and vary a little bit throughout the community, not be so cookie cutter. And even though they're affordable and entry level, we want to make it really a pretty appealing neighborhood. Homes will have landscaping packages that are separate from the master landscaping plan. The neighborhood will also be run under an HOA for all the common areas, and will have a built-in architectural review committee to ensure future improvements are managed to preserve the neighborhood's aesthetics. The ponds in the streets will be dedicated to the county. I'm sorry, I said county, I think it's actually a municipality, but for the maintenance under a developer's agreement, which we prepared during the final land development approval processes. We have reviewed Mount Vernon's master comprehensive plan, and we had presented an original concept plan previously to the MPC. During that meeting, the city engineers as well as some other departments had made some comments and requests, which we had taken offline. And those comments have those comments included not having a single in and out to the community. Instead, it was asked that we align with the city's proposed future street planning to eventually connect to the south as well as to the east of the project. Another request was for the second interest to connect immediately through the existing Woodside Drive to the north. I guess it's northwest on the project there. One other comment was asked of us to make sure that we loop the water main down to the existing 8-inch main on the south side of the property, which is through an existing utility easement, which is on the west end of Upland Terrace. Some minor comments and revisions were also done through emails and stuff outside of the comments that were addressed as well. As this plan was revised to the Mount Vernon satisfaction, we took it to proceed to work on an urban forestry replanting plan, which, because the property is approximately 40 acres, has around 30 acres of existing forestry. Our team hired a local master arborist, certified arborist, who conducted a field survey, identifying and quantifying all existing trees. This was documented through a tree plotter software and GNSS satellite positioning software to ensure accuracy. He sampled all the trees that were sampled. He documented the common scientific name, the height, condition. Standing trees over 30 feet, even if they were dead, were documented. Based on the sample data, it was estimated that the wooded area contains probably about 2,700 trees, and the analysis determined that it's about 40% were in fair, poor, or dead condition. It was determined that the existing forestry also had been logged multiple times, and because of that, it's created a poor forestry due to the understory having invasive species, which actually are not on the approved list for Mount Vernon. As I just mentioned, the understory also had the invasive shrubs, which contributed to its continuing to declining forest. A plan was prepared in coordination with the master arborist. The forestation plan for this proposed development to accomplish basically Shade Tree's ultimate goals of creating a native and healthy urban forestry plan, and they wanted to see a canopy coverage of 40% at maturity. With careful planning and our team, along with the guidance of the master arborist, we were able to create a master replanting plan that achieves all the goals of the Shade Tree's long-term goals. In fact, it was actually stated that this plan may be this new standard for the future projects to come. The plan is included today in the packet that we've submitted to the committee. As we now have the support of Shade Tree, we're back here today seeking approval for the MPC of our proposed development at Arista Villas, which would help us take it to the next steps, which would be preparing a full submittal of construction plans, which would then go through all the departments of erosion sediment control, stormwater management, utilities, and all the other departments. After receiving these approvals from the departments, we would be back here for a final vote and approval from the MPC. I hope I've answered all your questions, and I'm open to comments from the committee as well as the public. Sorry I did throw in a few things that are off of the R1, but had just really been a general thing I was trying to make sure we encompassed so we could eliminate some of the maybe open questions here for you. So sorry for the long-winded one, but I was trying to get as much as I could out to the committee today.
Questions for Clint?
Mr. Hura, are the property taxes on this parcel current?
Yes,
Are you sure?
they were paid today. It was just brought to my attention.
All right. Nothing further.
Any other questions?
Yeah, we updated the address. I don't know what that address was that somehow got onto the file, but it was not being sent to us. So as soon as we found it, we took care of it.
Any questions up here? Okay, thank you. If you will stand by, if there is anything that we do need to address that is with regard to whether.
I'd be happy to come back up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we'll open it up for public comment. Anybody who wishes to speak, Mr. Hillier, will come up first. We'll have you read the statement, and the floor will be yours.
Please sign, oh, not that one. Everybody needs a smile every now and then.
I do.
I've been off work all day, I gotta loosen up. I affirm my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and abilities to help me God or under penalty of perjury. Mike Hillier, I live at 215 East Sugar, retired Malvern City Council, as you well know. I couldn't find minutes of the meeting on the city's website, so I went to Knox Pages. I found an article that Cheryl wrote August 15th, 2025. It states, the city's transportation plan requires a minimum of 3 exits. Mayor Matt Starr said the development will have to connect to Coshocton Avenue. Note the word have to. And also the east with other development to alleviate traffic in both directions. Engineer Brian Ball said the Slayville property phase 3 must connect on its western end with 768 and then to US 36. That would occur via a connector road through Williams property. I see the words proposed to Coshocton Avenue, proposed towards the Slayville property. When we approve a plan, do we approve a plan that says proposed? When is proposed finished? Because I'm going by what Mayor Matt Starr says, it has to connect with Coshocton Avenue. It's not connected.
I guess, is that an open question then? Or
Yeah, I'm looking at you guys.
All right, so I guess it's done when the market determines that.
Well, you're saying it has to connect. It isn't connected.
Not yet. The market hasn't determined that yet.
The market, it doesn't say anything in here about the market.
Mike, you gotta think about in terms of boundary conditions, right? It has to connect, meaning that when they build on this site, it isn't precluded. Because it's not where you have one entrance and multiple cul-de-sacs. So they do not have control over any property that touches Coshocton Avenue. So we
It has to be
cannot-
purchased.
Well, it does not have to, we're not making them purchase it.
There has to be a deal.
It has to, it is a master plan for the area that as things happen, these connections will need to be made.
So I guess the question is, with only 2 on the Vernon View Drive, what if that deal's never made? I mean, if you're dealing with me and I say, yeah, I'm gonna deal with you in the future, and I change my mind, we still don't have a connector to Coshocton Avenue, everything dumps on Vernon View Drive. How can this plan be approved that way?
Does this,
Yeah, I think you're-
does this question actually determine whether or not this meets the R1 zoning plan?
Well, the plan is
Well,
not
I know
complete.
you're citing Knox Page article, but we're
the-
talking about the zoning plan.
The question here is, Mr. Hillier is reading has to as must, as in a condition precedent. And that's not the way the plan works. As the plan works, the overall plan for the R1 and the neighborhoods here is that they must connect together when they're able to do that. We wouldn't allow them to do this with a single entrance or exit, which is what they originally allowed, but our current master plan for transportation required at least the 2 here, and with the opportunities that whenever other developments occur, that they connect to it, so that we don't have a series of cul-de-sacs here.
So what you're saying is the mayor's quote is in brief of what the actual ordinance reads?
Well,
When
I
you
don't know,
say
I
all
don't
that
know,
other-
I don't know what the mayor's
What-
quote is that, but you're reading it to say it must do this. And we're saying is that it has to whenever the conditions occur.
Right.
That's what the policy says.
Right, the part of the understanding is, for the neighborhood, is if you buy a house, you understand that this is a through street. Part of this is communicating to the future buyers that we are saying today, if you buy a house on this, it is currently, there are 2 dead ends, but eventually it will be a through street. And it's the idea of clearly communicating that to everyone in a master plan.
Mr. Hilliard, I have personal experience of buying a lot on the end of a street that eventually was a through street. So I hear what you're saying, but I bought my lot knowing, and built my house knowing that someday I would be on a through street as opposed to a dead end street.
Right, and I don't disagree, but there's also, there's that possibility, and it may never happen when you bought that too. Because there's several things in Mount Vernon that should have happened, never did.
You know, shoulda, couldas.
Exactly.
We're not really worried about that. We're trying to figure out a
I made it
plan.
public, I got your public answer, thank you, and I hope you weigh that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
So Mount Vernon City Code, section 1101.01, the purpose of the zoning code, letter I states, encourage interconnectivity of developments in order to provide multiple access points in and out of developments for safety purposes and traffic dispersion. So it's encouraging it, not requiring it.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else like to speak on this R1 zoning code ruling? Mr. Carr, come on up. We'll have you read the statement and
Donald Carr, 4 Open Terrace. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
welcome.
Michael, I'm totally confused too, because I've been to every one of these meetings discussing this property. And Brian Ball made it very clear that there must be 3 accesses to this property. And if I have to go back and copy it and bring it to your attention, that's the way we heard it. Must have.
The
You've
way
told the
you heard it.
developer that.
The way you heard it
Oh, I'll go back and I'll pull it off if you want proof.
was the
what
description,
is
that-
your-
the
what
description,
is your-
excuse me just a second, Mr.
My
Ball. The
point is,
description-
you're requiring 3 accesses to this property before it's developed.
eventual. Mrs.
No, it's
Mrs.
not what we
Blankenhorn-
heard.
Mrs. Blankenhorn,
Eventually
would you-
never
would you
came into
reread-
the-
Would you reread the
I'm not
the
talking
R1
about the code.
I wanna
I'm
make sure
talking
that we
about
understand.
words out of
I wanna make
Brian's
sure that
mouth.
This is what we're ruling on is the code, Mr. Carr. That's what we're looking
There's
at.
the exact minutes, and the exact minutes do not say must.
I'll pull it off the
I got
video.
'em right here, you don't have,
You don't have the video.
I have the minutes.
Minutes mean nothing in this town.
All right, sir.
You write the way you want them.
Okay.
Well,
Mrs.
let me
Blank-
go on. We'll argue that point, I guess, another time. These are concerns that have been brought to my attention and have been brought up before. I'm not gonna belabor reading all these, but I put them in writing for you. But the couple questions that need to be answered is this subdivision, streets, are they gonna be city-owned, or is it the responsibility of the developer? Anybody wanna answer?
Well, we're not here to engage.
We're not here to engage that stuff right now because we are just, how does this plan before you meet or not meet R1 zoning district? That's
So it's
all
not-
we are ruling on.
So it's not important to know who owns the streets that this developer is
Can I-
putting houses on?
As a director of public safety and director of public services, if you don't mind, thank you for these. And the appropriate time to send these, if you are anticipating answers to these questions, would have been, when was this posted?
December 24th, I believe.
Anytime before now.
So you
and
don't wanna
then.
answer
I
questions
will,
that you know
Mr. Carr,
answers to?
Mr. Carr, I will happily send you answers to all of these questions. But for you to come in here arrogantly and to expect to just drop this on us and expect answers back
We do this
right
all
now,
the time.
Not in here, you don't.
These are words that I wanna speak.
Speak away.
Okay.
But don't expect.
Don't
We're
answer
only-
them.
We are only.
And I might
taking
also add,
comment
I
on-
might also say that you should direct your comments to the chair of this committee and nobody else.
And who have I
That's
been?
proper decorum.
Who have I addressing to?
That would be the chair
Who
right here.
have I been addressing to?
You talked to Brian Ball a second ago, and now you're talking to me,
No,
so
I mentioned
henceforth.
Brian Ball said.
And you look directly at him.
That's right.
Okay, let's get back on track, but as I said, as I said in the meeting and before we started, we have rules of public decorum, and I said I would allow, this is a public meeting, so public comments are not necessary for this, but I said I would allow them only under the scope of whether or not this plan meets or does not meet the R1 zoning code.
Well, I'm sorry, I dispute that because I have a First Amendment right to speak before my council, my commission, and you cannot control the words and the topic that comes out of my mouth.
Not
Stormwater
true under this,
collection.
not true under this, because
So
we have.
let's just let him speak and we'll be.
I'm
Go
sure
ahead,
you
Mr.
don't
Carr.
want to hear about any civil attorneys coming in
Go
and
right ahead,
talking
Mr.
about
Carr.
disputing.
Your clock is ticking.
You've taken a lot of my time too. Stormwater collection. There's no reference on this drawing about stormwater collection. We see a symbol that says this is going to be a drain, but nowhere on the drawings is there any place that shows where the stormwater is going to be picked up. They also, phase 2, we're concerned about whether phase 2 will even happen, number one. And I would strongly encourage, if you haven't already, is there a surety bond being asked of this developer that once he starts the project that he finishes it? And phase 2, will there be in the future a request to change what is showing on the drawing to high density townhouses or apartments? Access to the subdivision, the Woodside, which I hope the city plans on improving, because that is no street to put 200 cars coming and going off of. I hope that's in the plans to correct and that it doesn't come out of our city pocket, but the developer should be responsible for, if he wants to use it as an exit or entrance, he should be concerned about developing it. The Woodside and the Arista Way is 200 feet away from one another. Those two entrances into this property, one of which doesn't show on the drawing, but the Arista Way appears to be directly in front of the Fairways addition. So now we have traffic, 200 cars coming and going that haven't been there before. We're going to create a beach street and a Eastmore condition where cars are going to be trying to come out at the same time, especially if your plans are to take this property driveway all the way to Woodside, or I'm sorry, to Upper Gilcrest. You'll have to have permission from the Ford dealership, the Walmart company, and the BAS radio station, or another owner of property up there to even take this street from a dream to something that will actually happen. Will the homes be owner occupied? And I think it's come up again, but I think it needs to go on public record as to whether they will be or not. These will certainly should not be rentals, and we don't want another Crestline, a partnership of this developer who put homes on property that the homeowner doesn't even own, and they have to pay a fee for the land that their house sits on. And I hope this is not in the proposal or is not going to happen with this development. I thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come on up, Mr. Beck.
My name is Bob Beck. My address is 10 Woodside Drive. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God. We're under penalty of perjury. I'm just kind of curious that when we lay the plan out, and they talk about phase 1 and phase 2, that is the whole road as we see it. So I was under the impression also that the statement was made that there must be 3 entrances and they will be connected. But if we just take it as it is and we have this plan, doing phase 1 and phase 2, is the whole road for phase 2 also going to be included? Because the ones that are houses on the bottom are going to be dead-ended, one way in, one way out. That I don't know if that was the plan or if that's the way we're looking at it. But the other thing is these lakes, it come out with the forestry thing that if you don't know the size of the lakes and the amount of water runoff, you really don't know how many lots you have. And that's kind of what we're talking about here is the plan with the lots and everything. Okay, I know things work in stages, but as soon as somebody goes in and, starts doing the analysis on the size of the lakes, everything could very well change as far as the number of houses, where the houses are going to go, and then we could end up changing the whole road over again. That I'm just wondering, has there really been, some plans, I don't know how you ever qualify how much water and runoff is going to be there when there's no more trees and such and cutting off the banks of the road. That, are they really going to go in and, day one, start clear cutting the whole property, even though we're saying 1 and 2, that they have to get the site ready, so it's the whole site is the 40 acres, and we're going to have to contend with, the potential of flooding and everything for, I'll say, the years to get to get the first phase up and building. So it would just make me feel better if somebody would talk about timing, and, you know, I can deal with, those other roads ain't gonna be there. We've talked about bypasses in Mount Vernon for most of my life. So we take what we have, a grain of salt, if that's really what we want, you know, is a loop in there. But are we really gonna have a loop, I guess, is how much of this project, as far as roads, infrastructure, are we gonna have? And again, I don't think my tax money should go in to make a millionaires more money by my taxes for the roads, all that. That the other builders here who've come into town, they stand up and they do the work themselves. So I don't know if I get any answers for that today, but at least throw out some thoughts for y'all to work with. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Okay, at this point, I will close the public comment portion down for this item. Okay. Mrs. Blankenhorn, were there any communications received either through phone, calls, or in writing?
I have the one communication that you forwarded to me today. It did not come directly to me. Do you want me to read that?
We can just make that a part of the record that everyone's been
Asked to make
provided.
it part of the record
Okay.
on that, so yeah. Anything else?
That was the only thing.
Mr. Ball, are there any engineering concerns, or utilities, storm?
Can we hear the communication that was received? Can we hear it being read? For the record. Yes.
Was it requested in that it would be read into the record?
It was just made part of the record.
It said, please include the letter in the meeting minutes.
Says, please include the letter in the meeting minutes.
Well, why can't
So,
we hear it?
You can do whatever you like.
It's gonna take you what, 3 minutes?
go ahead and read it. Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Dear members of the Municipal Planning Commission, I am writing to formally express my opposition to the proposed Arista Villas major subdivision in its current form. A primary concern is the inadequate access plan. As presented, the development provides only 2 entrance-exit points, both entering and exiting on Vernon View Drive. Vernon View Drive is already a congested roadway, and the addition of 72 homes in Phase 1 alone will significantly increase traffic volume and safety risks. The city has previously stated that major subdivisions must include at least 3 points of access, and ideally, these should not all connect to the same roadway. Relying on potential or unspecified future roads does not meet this standard and should not be considered sufficient justification for approval. Any required roadway improvements or additional access points must be constructed and funded by the developer, not deferred to the future and not paid for by taxpayers. Approval should be contingent upon concrete funded infrastructure plans being completed as part of the development. In addition, I urge the Commission to ensure that the developer is fully responsible for any damages resulting from the approved deforestation, grading, and stormwater pond construction that will occur at the start of this project. Existing homeowners must be protected from increased risks of erosion, drainage issues, and flooding. These protections and responsibilities must be clearly defined and legally established prior to project approval, not addressed after problems arise. For these reasons, I respectfully request that the Commission deny approval of the Arista Villas subdivision as currently proposed, or require substantial revisions that address access, infrastructure funding, environmental impact, and homeowner protections before moving forward. Thank you for your time and consideration. Jennifer Showman.
Thank you. It is part of the record now, in the minutes. Mr. Ball, are there any engineering concerns such as utilities, stormwater control, or anything else from your perspective on the R1 plan that is before us?
Right. At this point, there are not. I think it's important to note there is a preliminary plat and a final plat. So in that process, if we realize the stormwater pond is not the correct size, they have the ability to potentially eliminate a lot or make some minor adjustments to allow for changes as they work through design. So at this point, we have no concerns.
And then that, the development agreement would also come later on at that particular point in time as well, too. So that will
A lot of,
outline.
you know, I mean, part of this, I would say, is fairness, right? This is a preliminary document, it is two-dimensional. Once, if this is approved, then they will, in all cases, the developers would invest the money to create a three-dimensional design that sorts out all of the aspects of this meeting our road standards, our water standards, our stormwater standards. So that is where their work really begins.
Mhm.
And then we will follow the rules of, you know, the state, federal, and local will grade their future work products based on our code and the state and federal code.
Thank you.
And our standards. You know, we have standards, we have policies, those things.
We, while we're at it, we did also hear, and we received a report from the Shade Tree and Beautification Commission on the master arborist, the report and the report on that, correct?
Yes, they presented the plan and it was accepted by the Shade Tree Commission. Mr. Salyers and I were present at the meeting.
Thank you. Mr. Byrne, are there any legal concerns regarding the project that is before us?
Not at this time.
Okay. This proposal is a ruling. This is not going to city council. This is something that this commission will rule on, and it will be done from there, just so everyone is clear on that. So, we need to put the motion on the table.
I make a motion to approve the preliminary plat as presented.
Is there a second?
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the plat as presented. Any discussion? Commission members? Okay, hearing none. Please call the roll.
Mayor Starr,
Yes.
Mr. Salyers,
Yes.
Mrs. Ellsworth,
Yes.
Mr. Swallow,
Yes.
Mr. West.
No. It is approved by a vote of 4-1. That will conclude that particular item. Next item on the list, Mrs. Blankenhorn, is Liberty Crossing. Would you please read that one for us?
Case 2026 MPC 03. The city engineer requests a hearing to establish the procedures and assessments for the maintenance of the stormwater management facilities in the Liberty Crossing subdivision.
Thank you. Who's going to be presenting on this one? You will come on up and state your name and read the statement there. Floor will be yours.
Thank you. I'm Josh Cummings. I live at
Wait,
3315.
I don't
Hold
think
on.
this is the right, you should not, I don't think you should be presenting. This would be Quentin.
For the DSMF.
It'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
be both of them, but,
Well, he may have to testify with Quentin.
yeah,
for
go ahead
this.
and swear in, but it will probably be both of you.
All right.
Sorry, Josh.
You're fine. Again, this is Josh Cummings. I live at 3315 Westerville Woods, Columbus, Ohio 43231. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Okay, is there a particular order? Do we want Quentin to come up here first? Because this is the,
I would swear Quentin in, and then
Swear.
I'll provide some background.
okay, Quentin, will you please come in, and then Josh, just hang tight there, okay?
Yeah, my name is Quentin Platt, Assistant City Engineer. Address is 40 Public Square, Mount Vernon, Ohio.
And swear in.
And swear in.
I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Okay. Let's explain what this private stormwater maintenance fund is about. So,
Okay,
Mr.
yes,
Ball,
all right,
will
so
you please
some
start us?
background. This was alluded to several times, but, what we are, the EPA has mandated, the federal and state EPAs have mandated that stormwater ponds be created, and we release water from these developments in a reasonable fashion to the neighbors, or downstream, or adjacent adjacent properties. And to do that, method in Ohio is typically stormwater ponds. What we have found here in Mount Vernon and other places is these ponds are mandated, and then maybe there's an HOA, maybe there's not. A lot of times people lose interest in maintaining these pretty rapidly. One of the suggested solutions was that outside of municipality, the county uses ditch petitions to, which is a method where the county commissioners and the county engineer can levy an assessment to maintain the facilities, common stormwater facilities for the public good that are on private property.
Excuse me, do you have a question, Mr. Kester?
No, I have a request. Brian has a very soft voice, and it's always hard to hear him. Could he speak up a little bit?
Would you please speak up,
Yeah.
Mr. Ball?
Well, I'll move
Thank
the
you.
microphone a little bit. So the idea is these are private property areas that there's a methodology for private stormwater facilities to be maintained by the public entities, but that is for fee. So inside our stormwater utility and inside city code, there is a process very similar to a ditch petition. So homeowner or landowners would petition the utility commission to add them to a maintenance district, which that has been completed for this project. And then the next step is for this commission to establish the rate to charge for the private stormwater facility maintenance. So the task is at this point to vote to set the rate that will be charged. As we collect the funds and maintain those, there will be a periodic check to make sure we have enough funds, or if we have too much funds, we would reduce the rate. So as these projects progress over time and maintenance occurs, we're also collecting a corpus to, if there is a flood event or a rehabilitation that needs to happen, we anticipate that on about a 30-year cycle, then the money would be available in the city treasury to do those rehabilitations on behalf of the subdivision.
So, enter Quentin and Josh. We are going to be talking about a couple options that we have
Yeah.
here for
So-
the people in Liberty at,
Right. Our department, again, this is a mix of single family and multifamily, so we have created, Quentin Platt has created two alternatives, and he can present those. And
Mr. Platt, will you come up and explain this, and then Josh will have you
Yep.
back clean up here, if that's okay, then.
Absolutely. So, as with we do have one other existing PSMF in the city. It's with the Gilchrist Estates subdivision, which is an entirely single-family subdivision. The main difference between that, other than it being entirely single-family, is that we actually mow and maintain the vegetation around those ponds, and they're also dry ponds. So there's a lot to mow. They're all the way to the bottom. It should have grass, and we need to mow it. So it's a big cost difference there. And then assessing this, it occurred to me that it seemed, as far as the philosophy of stormwater utility goes, it didn't seem equitable to bill everybody at the same rate when you have multifamily units that are higher density and overall contributing less stormwater because of the number of units per impervious area compared to the single family. So what I did here is I looked at the total area of a typical single family lot, which you'll see on top. There's the 8,547 square feet. And then I looked at the total area of the multifamily portion of the site, which is actually bounded off. It's going to be a separate parcel, as I understand. Then I looked at the impervious area of both of those and the number of units. So a single family lot obviously has one unit, and then the multifamily has a total of 228 units as I added them up from all of the buildings. So what you get is actually that the single family has about 3,800 square feet of impervious area per unit, whereas a multifamily has 1,100 square feet, which is about 3 times. So just to simplify that, I said, well, if you were to do this equitably and base it off of the impervious area, you would say that a single-family unit for this PSMF fee should be about 3 times what the multifamily unit PSMF fee is. So I have the rates in 2 different fashions. At the top in the green, this is a fixed or a flat monthly rate. This is where all multifamily and single family would pay the same rate of about $12, well, not about, exactly $12.67 monthly per unit, which brings in $5,929.56. I should just pull up my paper because I
Is
cannot
this
see
in
that
addition
far.
to the stormwater fee, or is this?
This is in addition to the public
The public.
stormwater
Got it.
fee, yes. And then below that, I have it broken down into a multifamily rate and a single-family rate. The multifamily rate being $6.26, and the single-family rate being $18.78, bringing in a total of $5,934.48. The total calculated cost to maintain the 3 practices on site was $5,928.31. So I needed to round up in every case, so we collected at least the minimum that we need to maintain these practices. And this was calculated over a 25-year life cycle. The 25 years is about the time that you have to do the first major rehabilitation, which is dredging out about 25% of the water quality volume as sediment builds up in the pond. So that's really the minimum that we need to look forward to collecting these fees.
Yep. Josh, anything to add to this, or is this?
Nothing to add. I believe that this has been coordinated with our team, and we're in agreement, so it should be pretty straightforward.
So we're looking basically, we just ruling on the multifamily and the single-family rate, correct? Is what we're doing. Is it
You would need to choose one or the other and vote on that.
The flat rate or.
the flat rate or the variable? Okay, very good. Does anybody else, any other questions for Quentin or Josh? Does anybody wish to speak? I'll open it up for public comment again, just on this issue, on the stormwater issue for this one. This is all we're entertaining comments on. So does anybody wish to talk about the stormwater rates for this subdivision? Hearing none, I will close the public comment portion of this item.
Well, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does the developer have a preference?
Yeah, okay, yeah, this is a good question. And does the developer have a preference? Whoever's going to speak is going to have to get up here.
Call them the caucus.
Yeah. You have to swear in there.
My
Mr.
name's
McDaniel.
Trent McDaniel from 1307 Sunset Road in Marion, Ohio. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury. I think the flat fee would be our preference.
A flat fee for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, keep things simple.
Okay.
One number to remember. I do have maybe a curveball to throw at you. With the abolition of the penny, I'm serious.
The creation of new pennies. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So as we have talked about this in other billing situations. Yeah, the penny is dead. Long live the penny. Would it be wise to? I mean, as we're talking about a new fee here, not put in a calculus of 2.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going with that? If somebody, yeah, I'm asking the zeitgeist here.
I guess my first question would be, do you guys plan on paying in cash? Do you think your tenants are going to pay their bills in cash?
They're not
So
paying it.
that's so my understanding is that digital accounting will still calculate everything to the 100th place. If you go to the gas pump, you actually get charged to the 1000th place,
Sure.
and they round up to the 100th. So I'm not a lawyer. I don't understand what the future looks like here as far as our currency goes. If you round up 2 cents, and you've got, let's just make it simple, 500 units, that's an extra
So this is
$100 a month.
But this
so.
is a surcharge, to be clear, this is a surcharge on a consumer bill.
Yes.
Yes. So while they pay a,
Well,
no,
the
they're paying
homeowner-
nothing.
Yeah, the homeowner will pay.
be responsible for
right.
water, wastewater.
Yeah, so they're out of
public-
the equation
yeah.
totally.
Yeah, the homeowner would be paying about 20,
What
resident.
their preference is
36
solely
cents a
when they're
year.
talking to somebody that's either coming into the multifamily or purchasing or renting. So they can just, plainly say, hey, by the way, you're gonna get a water bill. What's this random charge on here? It's just easier for them to say, there's gonna be a charge that everybody gets in this development, that's what it's for. Then they don't have to go into, well, if you're in the multifamily, it's because impervious surface is all of that, right? I feel you. However, there could be somebody that is, I mean, it's a hard month and you pour out the coin jar, right? So I'm just a thought. I said it would be a curveball, so.
Well, let's,
Yep.
so if we were to round, okay, so we're saying flat rate is $12.67.
So do we round up to 70 or down to 65?
round
you'd round up to 70.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you wouldn't have enough to cover.
Right.
Yeah.
I can confirm that real quick. Well, no, I know that for a fact, because if you even went down to 1266, it wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
1267 is the minimum, so.
So it'd be 1270. Okay.
That would be $168.48 extra per year. So, across the entire development.
There's our road.
Mr. Chairman,
Mrs. Blankhorn,
I have a question also for the future, knowing that the next two cases on the agenda, one of them is requesting to increase the units by 10. So will that affect this rate?
by 10,
The number of units.
the number of units
Yes.
in the development.
Here, come back to the mic. Make sure you say that on mic.
Yeah, the rate is explicitly dependent on the number of units that are there. So that top number, that 5,928.31, that would stay the same as long as their ponds don't change. I assume they're not because they've been approved and constructed. But if the number of units went up, then the unit price would go down.
Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, please keep in mind, the second part of that is actually going to reduce the overall unit count. So the unit count as a whole from the project basis will be changing, and it'll actually be reduced from an overall perspective.
So we're just looking at we're gonna be voting on that on a flat rate or the variable rate, and we are hearing from the developer that the flat rate is their preference, is what I'm understanding, and that,
Well,
can that math then be determined later on?
Well, let me ask you a question. Could we table this to the end of the
meeting.
agenda?
Yeah.
Vote on the other actions, and then we could recalculate after the actions are approved or denied.
We could move this to the end of the agenda. We
yeah.
could table this to the end of the agenda. We'll come back to it in a few minutes, and we can go, is that a formal motion then?
Motion to table to the end of the agenda.
Is there a second to table it?
Second.
Moved and seconded to table. Any discussion on tabling this to the end of the agenda?
This Quentin furiously does math.
Mrs. Blankenhorn, let's just have a roll call for this then too.
Mayor Starr?
Yes.
Mr. Sawyers?
Yes.
Mrs. Ellsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Swallow?
Yes.
Mr. West?
Yes.
Okay, it is tabled to the end of the agenda. We'll move on to the next item then. Mrs. Blankenhorn, if you will read that, that would be great.
Case 2026 MPC 04. See the accompanying summary of proposed changes to the multifamily area of the Liberty Crossing subdivision.
Okay. Which person is going to be, Josh, you up there again? Okay.
Do I
You've
get
already
swearing
sworn
again?
in, so you don't have to.
No,
do-
it's a
oh,
different case.
It's a different case. I'm sorry. Yeah, you do have to swear in again. So.
Perfect. I'm Josh Cummings. I live at 3315 Westerville Woods, Columbus, Ohio, 43231. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Thank you.
So before we get into the details of these small minor adjustments within this plan, I ask that you guys please keep in mind that at the time that the final development plan was amended a while back in '25, we did not have a actual developer on board. So the final development plan was conceptual in nature. It was based off of the architect of record, their recommendations. So as we move forward to going through the construction documents and getting permits in hand and all of that, we have a developer on board, and then they have their own programming, their own building footprints, all their unit counts, all of that good stuff. So the changes that were made to the layout, including, eliminating a building, changing building size due to unit types because of efficiencies, in shifting the clubhouse to be a more centralized location within the site for just, livability perspectives for all of the tenants, and, updating the parking lot to align with all these changes all fall within the amended final development code. So there's really nothing that is needing an extra variance or divergence within the code. It all aligns with the code, aligns with the approved amended final development plan. It is really just updating the site to align with the actual selected developer within this development. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions for Josh? No? Okay. Anybody wish to speak about this minor change proposal? Come on up, we'll have you read the statement, and the floor will be yours.
John Sperry. My name's John Sperry. My address is 6712 Rangeline Road. I affirm that my testimony is truthful and to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury. Question I've got for the developers: what's the difference when you added Inch and Company? So, are you two separate entities now with Liberty Crossing and Inch and Company, or are you basically the same?
Josh, do you want to come up and answer who is Engine Company and how they play into this? Just kind of identify who's doing what here.
Yeah, so, and, the team can correct me if I misspeak here on this. So, Liberty Crossing and the development for Liberty Crossing as a whole is a multiple partnership where you have multiple entities developing the parcel. Inch and Company is the developer for just the apartments. It's still going to be a part of the Liberty Crossing development as a whole, but they are the individual that is actually developing the multifamily sector within this development. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yep.
Does anybody else wish to speak on this particular case? Then I will close the public comment portion of this item. And Mrs. Blankenhorn, did you receive any communications through phone calls or in writing?
I did not receive anything.
Mr. Ball, any engineering concerns with this with this change?
No, this makes good sense. Yeah, we're down to a lot, like some very minor comments on approving this permits.
Okay. Mr. Braun, any legal matters that
No.
you see? Okay. So, well, I guess we will wait for the motion to be on the table to rule on the changes that are outlined in Josh's letter, Mr. Cummings' letter.
I'll move to approve.
Okay.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded for the approval. Good time. We'll give that one to Mr. West. We talk too much anyway.
From curveballs.
Enough out of me.
It's been been moved and seconded for the approval of the changes proposed in Mr. Cummings' letter. Any discussion from the commission? Okay, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Starr?
Yes.
Mr. Sawyers?
Yes.
Mrs. Ellsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Swallow?
Yes.
Mr. West?
Yes.
The changes are approved. The next one is the major subdivision modification. Mrs. Blankenhorn, will you read that one, please?
Case 2026 MPC 05. See the accompanying summary of proposed changes. Oh, I'm reading the wrong one. I'm sorry. All right. I mistyped this because this is proposed changes to the townhome area.
So we need to, this
Yeah.
needs to be corrected in the,
Yes, this description of request should say townhome area, not multifamily area.
so that is in the ending comment there. Description of request, see the accompanying summary of proposed changes to the townhome areas of Liberty Crossing
Yes.
subdivision. Okay.
My apologies. We got a new software system and I had to transfer everything over and I'm still learning it, so
Okay.
who knows what the minutes are gonna look like.
Okay, all right. Okay, which one of you is gonna talk about, Mr. Cummings, you gotta start over again, sorry.
Fine. My name's Josh Cummings. I live at 3315 Westerville Woods, Columbus, Ohio 43231. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Okay, what's going on with the townhomes here?
Very similar to the apartments, going through at the time of the final development plan, we had schematics, conceptuals, and now that we are moving through construction documents, we are dealing with a developer that is basically, making small minor modifications to the building units. This actual phase of the development is reducing the unit count by 35. The amended final development plan was 108 units. We are now reducing it to 77 units to be able to provide a little bit more flexible on that style of unit. So there's some wider units, there's some a little bit smaller units for sales of this product. All of these changes align with the amended final development plan. There's no divergences required, no variances needed. Everything is, pretty much aligns with it, just truly a matter of shifting and updating the units and buildings as shown on the screen.
Okay. Any questions for Josh on the changes to the site? Does anybody wish to speak on this particular matter, on the changes to the site? Okay, I will close the public comment portion of this item. And Mrs. Blankenhorn, did you receive any communications through phone calls or in writing on this?
I did not receive anything.
Mr. Ball, are there any engineering concerns? with
There are
regard-
not, sir.
Mr. Braun, are there any legal concerns?
No.
Okay. Then we will entertain a motion.
Move to approve?
It's been moved to approve the changes outlined in this plan. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We'll give that to him this time, Mr. Swallow. Any discussion on the site changes there? Mrs. Blankenhorn, please call the roll.
Mayor Starr?
Yes.
Mr. Sawyers?
Yes.
Mrs. Ellsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Swallow?
Yes.
Mr. West?
Yes.
Okay. Now we are coming back to the tabled item, now that we know more of the units. We know we have 77 units in the townhomes. We have 240 units for the apartments that are proposed, and then what was, I can't remember what the total number of units we're looking at right now here is. We want to get We want to know what the flat rate is, obviously, and the,
Do you mind if I step out?
What- $12.80. Quentin, do you want to come back? Please come on record. You've already sworn in, so you don't, on this item, so you don't have to start from the beginning, so.
I was trying to make sense there. I had a little bit of confusion because the letter read that there were 230 apartment units that increased to 240. I had 228 when I counted them, so did I miss two? Or, I did, okay. Great, that's the way I just calculated it. So yeah, so now I have a,
You had too many on the single families too. I have 452 total now. 77, 135, and 240. If somebody wants to check.
135 is a single family.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we have 77, 135, and 240. 240 is the apartments, 135 is a single family. and
452. Okay. I'm not gonna
452.
do long division in front of you guys, that would be torture.
We're getting close to
I
what this
can.
flat rate is going to be here. We have heard what that the preference is a flat rate, so we'll just cut to the chase.
That brings the flat rate total to 13. Oh, it would be 1312, but you'd want to round up to 1315 to the nearest nickel.
13.15, okay. We're getting confirmation from the developer that $13.15 flat rate is acceptable for this additional stormwater fee for this development here.
Private stormwater.
Private stormwater fee, thank you very much for clarifying. Does anybody wish to speak on this particular fee structure? Hearing none, I will close the portion of the public comment, portion of this case. Mrs. Blankenhorn, did you receive any communications on this?
Nothing.
Mr. Ball, any engineering concerns?
Nope.
Mr. Broran, any legal concerns?
No.
And we will entertain a motion.
Before we do, may I have a point of order?
Okay.
We're hearing from the developer that they want a flat rate. I don't think that's fair. And I would propose that we go with the variable rate.
Okay.
All right, well, what?
Unfortunately, I
we
apologize,
need,
but if you're
Quentin,
we-
Quentin,
we-
we're gonna
wait,
put your
wait, okay, wait.
long form math together
all right,
and
well,
and we'll
before we
see.
start this, let's
Okay.
put a motion one way or the other
Yeah,
on
okay.
the table so we can have a discussion.
All right, before that, are there any legal concerns?
No.
Okay, then, if we are ready to entertain a motion, then we can discuss it. Is there a motion?
I motion that we use the variable rate.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's second.
I want my-
Okay,
I want my
it's on the
credit.
table now. We can discuss it.
You want to
Um,
see Quentin do more math. That's what we're looking here.
Poor Quentin's little head's
Okay.
gonna explode.
I'm just thinking of.
Why don't you go ahead and,
I was
Mr.
just
Smallwood, yeah.
thinking of everyone's fairness here. An apartment dweller would not, an apartment dweller with a smaller square footage would be penalized.
Pay it. It's not the unit, that's the developer.
We need
We
to
have,
have
we need to have
comments
you
on mic.
in front of the microphone.
Well, let him, go ahead and finish your thought first,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
way.
Okay, that the apartment dweller or the townhouse, home person with smaller square footage would be forced to pay for a larger, lot.
You'll have to swear in. You haven't been sworn in on this item, so
Trent McDaniel, 1307 Sunset Road, Marion, Ohio. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
Okay.
Everything except for the multifamily out there are individual bills. That multifamily, correct me if I'm wrong, will be one single bill to the developer, so,
Well, to the owner.
to the owner of
property.
the property, so,
And so they will roll that into rent.
yeah. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll roll the fee into your rent.
Not me, that's
No,
not us,
someone,
and,
someone.
yeah.
The eventual
Yeah.
owner.
I'm doing my best to represent the eventual single-family homeowners and townhome owners that are there. That's my main part in that, so.
So for Quentin, just to mess him up even farther, you're saying that the townhome should be counted as single family.
That's how he has it up there
That's how
right
he
now.
has it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
As they're like a fee simple, single family home, as the townhome would be the same thing, they're just a connected wall.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. The discussion is for the variable rate, and we are here, we need to come to a, if we're gonna vote yea or nay on this, we're gonna have to, if we vote yea on this, then it's done.
All
If
right.
we vote nay, then we're gonna
What are
have
the
to.
numbers if? Yeah, we need to include the actual number in the final decision.
So, going back to this, so it shows here we have a ratio of 0.3 to 1, right? And so what I did is I assumed a factor of 3 just to simplify things. So what this does is we actually have an increase in the number of multifamily units, so that decreases the impervious ratio. But, so it's now 0.28 to 1. So if we wanted to say a factor of 4 to 1, that would make the single-family rate go up a good bit. And if we kept it at a factor of 3 to 1, the rates would stay the same. I mean, I can calculate an exact number. I think my assumption was that this was complicated enough, and I didn't want to overcomplicate things even more, which is why I grouped the townhomes in, because it could have got really granular at that point.
But we need a number if they're gonna vote, because, I mean, this, the way we
So
set
the
up.
variable rate then is
Is
based
it-
on, I'm hearing 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, I'm not sure
Okay.
where you're.
Mm-hmm.
Help.
Yep.
We need-
Okay, so the current numbers that you see here, multifamily, $6.26, single-family rate of $18.78. That is 3 to 1, so that's the single-family paying 3 times as much as the multifamily. If we were to go the other route, give me just a second.
Yeah, but does that change with the number, with the total, with the numbers?
The total $5,928.31.
No, the numbers of single family versus the numbers of multifamily. That's the question.
Cause we just had an adjustment.
Because we just approved the change.
So what I was just saying is that yes, it does change that, but it doesn't change it substantially
Enough to make it
to make me think that it should be a different ratio than 3 to 1.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're not asking about the ratio, we're asking about the actual numbers.
We need the monthly fee.
We need a monthly fee for, at the variable rate for the 240.
Can we plug these in the
Do
spreadsheet?
you want the spreadsheet?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and plug them in, and they'll tell you exactly what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, if you want to use an exact ratio based off the exact number, then those numbers there aren't even correct, because they're based on a simple 3 to 1 difference that gets you to the total that we need.
You're saying that.
So
that a single-family house has 3 units more impervious. The 3 to 1 ratio is.
It's actually more than that, and this rate actually favors the single family over the multifamily. The multifamily is paying slightly more than what their share is in this.
Yeah, but it's only.
So it's only slightly, and the point I'm trying to get across is that the changes that we just approved aren't substantial enough to make me say that it should be a 4 to 1.
No.
But they could be,
Yes.
if you wanted to go that way. It's
Are we looking at the spreadsheet to get us that number?
so the number stays the same.
The number stays the same?
This number stays the same. Yes.
The number stays the same at 1315 if we go to the flat rate. What are the numbers if we go to the variable rate? Did they stay the same?
Is that 18?
You can go ahead and plug it into the spreadsheet.
Plug in the spreadsheet.
I'd be happy to do
Stand
that
by.
for you.
I mean, it won't change my vote, but at least it's in
Yeah.
the.
Well, whatever we do,
Yeah.
we
You need
need to
something
actually
to vote
have
on.
the actual
No, I get
number
what
in
yes,
the.
sir. Yes, sir, I get it.
Family 240. And I've got a single family of 212. Okay. So, as I was trying to explain, I changed the numbers in the spreadsheet. The flat rate goes to $13.12, and the multifamily and single family rates stay exactly the same. because that ratio is not substantially different. So I'm still using that 3 to 1.
Okay.
That's fine.
Does that make sense? So the numbers that you see there in the blue, the 626 and the 1878 are the numbers you would be voting on in this scenario.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to use a more complicated method.
Okay, so 626 and 1878.
tried to keep it simple.
626 and 1878.
That's correct.
All right, so we're doing 630 and 1880. So those would be the numbers on the variable rate.
And the multifamily rate, if it were 630, is for townhomes and apartments.
No,
No,
just the apartments.
thank you.
Just
Just
the
the apartments. The townhomes would be 1880, along with single family, thank you,
Okay.
because it's just the wall.
Mr.
Got
Swallow,
it.
does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're talking approximately, 212 at the single-family rate and, 240 at the other rate. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to point out on behalf of my utilities staff and likely the engineering staff and basically every front desk person that works at City Hall or the Mount Vernon Municipal Center, that will have to inevitably explain this as well as the developers and all the owners over there. While I understand the equity and appreciate the effort that was put into that and understand the thought process up here, utility billing is already we like to joke in the city about firefighter math. There's also water math that makes no sense to anybody. This just adds another layer of confusion to that, so there's a preface to why I'm about to vote the way I'm about to vote. All right. Keep the staff in mind.
Any other comment on the motion to approve the variable rate private stormwater fee? So the motion is to approve the variable private stormwater fee. Yea or nay? Mrs. Blankenhorn, will you call the roll?
Mayor Starr.
No.
Mr. Sawyers.
No.
Mrs. Ellsworth.
No,
Mr. Swallow.
Yes.
Mr. West.
No. By a vote of 3 to 2, it,
4 to
I'm sorry,
1.
I'm sorry, 4 to 2.
4 to 1.
It's been a long day. 4 to 1. Oh my gosh, okay. Your last meeting and it's a doozy, isn't it? All right.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to propose that we adopt a flat rate private stormwater structure
Of
for Liberty Crossing.
$13.15.
Oh, for $13.15?
I will
Was it 50?
15.
15.
1 5.
Yeah.
13.
13.15.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second,
Austin
okay.
already did.
You did.
Awesome.
All right,
You really
so
want to
go.
get out of here, don't you? You want to end your term here, I can tell. Okay. It's been moved and seconded for the fixed rate. Any discussion? Then we will call a roll call for the fixed rate of $13.15 special stormwater utility fee. Mrs. Blankenhorn.
Mayor Starr.
Yes.
Mr. Sawyers.
Yes.
Mrs. Ellsworth.
Yes,
Mr. Swallow.
Yes.
Mr. West.
Yes.
It is passed, okay. Those are all of the items, correct?
Yes.
I would like to take this moment to recognize my esteemed colleague to my left, Mr. Austin Swallow, who has served on this board for over 20 years. I want to say it's close to 24 years, sitting on the Municipal Planning Commission as a volunteer. Someone who has taken time out of his life, his busy life, while he's raising a family, working a job, and serving the community in so many ways, to sit up here and wrestle with these questions that we all have to do, that we all have to deal with. And so I would like to turn the opportunity for Austin to say a few words before you are right off into the sunset.
Today's meeting is a perfect example of why I have enjoyed serving on this commission for so many years. There's give and take, there's discussion. I wish that some of the folks had stayed, because you see the process a little bit more when you come to the second or third and fourth and fifth agendas on the items on the agenda, and you realize that there is a process, and the Vernon View process is at one end, and Liberty Crossing is at the other end, and there's lots of opportunities for discussion, change, adjustment as we go along. And so it really has been my privilege, and I thank you, thank Mayor Mavis, and everyone else that has been involved in this commission. It's public democracy at its best.
Going back to the Constitution, being of, by, and for the people, this is it. And I will say that when I took office, I begged Austin to stay on.
He conned me into another term.
But this will be his, this is his last meeting, although his term expires at the end of the year. He has turned in his formal resignation, so we will find a replacement for him very soon. But anyway, Austin, thank you very much. And if I may. Yes, indeed. We'll leave the final motion up to you then, Mr. Swallow.
I move for adjournment.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Nice work.
Yep.
Yeah, so